Alright, this is part 3 of the bushcraft bike, and what we're going to do is we're going to work on that platform. Like I said, I'd like a box on there to haul your traps, your equipment, anything you need, but I also like to take my boys along and my little kids that can ride in the back. So I'm going to take this plywood and I'll get you a little closer here so you can see how I want to configure it and how we're going to formulate the fabrication of the box and a seat for one of my sons to sit on. Alright, here's the frame, and what I was thinking is I could make that box that they could sit on it. I got a piece of plywood here and we can envision what we could do. So I thought, what if I have a piece of plywood here, a little wider, and we want to round this and made footrest right here. So we could make the box here, they could sit their feet in here, and you could also make an area back further to store stuff on. But we want to center the weight on this rail, but 3/4 inch plywood should be fine as far as being sturdy enough to lever that weight across. So let's formulate a plan. I'm going to go up a little bit here for the feet, and I'm going to measure out the cutout 8 inches or so, and I'm going to come back a ways, whatever works for your bike, and then I'm going to stay away from the wheels a little. I'm thinking 20 would be a good box in case you drive along and you got weeds tangling in your spokes and stuff like that. So 20 wide is good. Let's get that. Okay, I got a piece of plywood that fits, and I cut it 27 inches long from the foot rest down, so we had a little extra in the back, and I rounded all the edges, rounded the foot rest with a jigsaw, got the table saw, cut it to the original size. Now I figured I could go a little wider with the plywood on either side. This piece is at 20, so your plywood on the sides are going to go another 1.5 inches wider with 2 3/4 inch plywood. So I'm going to cut the sides to the height of the box a while, and I'm going to show you a little bit later here what we're constructing. Okay, right here I'm going to drill out for the holes on this piece. I have it upside down, and I measured 1 3/4 back from where that plywood would hit here to 7 1/8, and then that'll work for both sides. And then I measured that it's 7 7/8 across. So we're going to mark this plywood 1 3/4 and 7 1/8. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and bolt this down, and I think things should fit pretty good with the holes I drilled. I just used a framing square and squared it off the square edges. As long as your measurements and your marks for your measurements were precise, it should go in good. Looks like it's working. I just got a bolt like this, 7/16 end on it, and looks like it all worked well. And I'll just put a nice tightening nut on there, one that crimps fast. So you know it ain't gonna fly off as easy. And just use the adjustable down here to hold it while I tighten it up. Okay, so I got the sides cut. I just wanted to show you how I came up with the structure of this. It's just 3/4 inch plywood, and I cut it the same as the width of this, and this is at 12 high. Then the sides I want it to overlap the bottom and the sides, so that way it would be structurally sound. And that's what we're up against here. We're just gonna screw everything in like this, and we're actually gonna come back further so they have more room to sit down, the young fellas. And we're probably gonna come back here, about there, back in, and this is an area back here to strap stuff on. So let's get it all together and take a look, see if everything works. When you're crafting stuff, it's not like you're in a bike factory where things just pop into place. You have to cut, recut, fabricate things so they work out in the end. You're an inventor, not an industry man that works in a factory. Okay, I got to this point here where I'm starting to frame the box, and I also decided to use the old brackets to work as a washer and help support it better. So I just reversed and put them back in like that. And what I did is I'm going to make a 15 by 20 wide and 15 box. And I'll just take the square, if I can get it in here, to lay on the edge, right here in the back of this round part. That's where I'm going to start the box. I want some space up here for the feet, so I think we'll just run it this way. This was my grandpa's old framing square. It was his father's. He was a carpenter, and he actually was in World War I. My great-grandfather that owned this, and he was gassed and he died, and my grandpa grew up from age 11 or 12 on up without a father. My great-grandmother raised him, so he paid the price for freedom early, and he had a family. But before he had a family, he decided to go in World War II in combat. I got the frame together, and I'm starting on the sides. We're going to glue everything. I got a waterproof glue for outdoors, Type Bond 3, and I'm just gluing it and screwing it. Okay, now we're framing everything up here. As you see, I made rails to go up the inside on the corners to help support it better, to hold the weight on the top if somebody's riding on top. And all I did was rip a 2x4 down to 1x1. And we're gluing on the sides pretty liberally, and we're screwing it in. Just wanted to show you what the frame looks like here. Okay, we got the sides all together. I cut a lid for it. I'm going to show you how things are working here. We got 12 inches of storage space, and we made it 15 by 21 and a half. And then the lid, you can see here, is piano hinge. So that was the best method for this. And it doesn't get in the way when you're wanting to ride. So I overhung the lid about 3/8 on each side, except for the side we're gonna get on and ride. And I was on here earlier, and it's pretty nice. You could either ride right here, and my boy can sit back, put his feet there, and ride right behind me. As simple as can be, and the weight is going to be basically dispersed right on that axle. So his weight's going to be the moving weight, and that's the important part to have secure. So a lot of that weight is right here, centered on the axle. That's what I wanted. That's what I was going for. These brackets, I got 2 of these, and I might bend them out a little bit. And there's holes in here. You can strap animals fast here, or bed rolls, tents, things that you might take on the trail camping, your bushcraft stuff. Well, anyhow, in here you can store animals. Put your legs out this way, depending on what it is. Strap that fast. And the ultimate thing would be to put some kind of frame across here for hunting season, which I do have a frame over here. Grab that. I just saw it here. That might work pretty good. You could bolt that, lag that right down in there into the lid, or bolt it and unbolt it when you want. But there is your deer hauler. You can lay a deer across there and strap it right down fast. So that's what we got for now. I'm gonna get you in closer here so you can see what these hinges look like here. And they just almost come to the edge of that lid, but not that far, that way you don't cut yourself.